Are you a fan of old-fashioned sourdough baked goods? If so, try this recipe for sourdough starter. According to Allrecipes member Carla, this recipe works like a dream, smells fantastic, and makes a wonderful dough. Thank you to Esther for submitting this recipe. Let's begin by placing 2 cups of all-purpose flour in a flour jar for easy storage. The height of the jar is also useful so that the starter won't overflow. Add 1/4 ounce package of active dry yeast. And 2 cups warm water between 105 and 110 degrees. Mix the ingredients together. Loosely cover with cheesecloth or a dish towel. A rubber band will hold the cheesecloth in place. Leave the starter in a warm place to ferment between 4 and 8 days. Depending on the temperature and humidity level of your kitchen, the fermenting time will vary, so be sure to check on the starter occasionally. When the starter has become bubbly with a pleasant sour aroma, it's ready to use. Keep the starter in the refrigerator and keep it loosely covered until you're ready to use it for baking. If a clear to light brown liquid accumulates on top of the starter, no need to worry. This is just an alcohol-based fermentation, so just stir it back into the starter. When you bake with it, the alcohol will evaporate and a wonderful sourdough flavor will remain. If the starter has taken on a pinkish or orange color, make sure you throw it out and start over. When you use some of the starter in baking, always replace it with an equal amount of flour and water and just a pinch of sugar. For example, if your recipe calls for 1 cup of starter, replace it with 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, and a pinch of sugar. Mix it well, and then leave it out on the counter to ferment again until it's bubbly and then refrigerate it. You can keep your sourdough starter indefinitely. Like fine wine, it improves with age. In fact, in olden days, the starters used to be passed down from generation to generation. One Allrecipes member divides the starter into smaller containers, attaches a recipe for sourdough bread, and gives it to friends. Allrecipes has many tasty recipes that use sourdough. Try the San Francisco sourdough bread, the sourdough chocolate cranberry cake, and even sourdough pancakes.